Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Napoleon Bonaparte, a legendary figure in the Jewish history, when the Second Temple was destroyed 200 years ago from today, 1800 years after the temple was destroyed, Napoleon Bonaparte, he was walking and he noticed some people, Jew, they were crying. They were crying. So he said to them, why you guys are crying? Why you are grieving? They said to Napoleon Bonaparte that we are grieving of the loss of the Second Temple, the Mount Temple. It was destroyed. Napoleon Bonaparte made a very, very interesting comment when he saw them grieving, and he promised them with something that today we are seeing Jew they are claiming came true. What was the promise he made to them? He said, we will go back to our land and we will build the Second Temple, Mount Temple. Today, Jew, if you go to Al-Quds, if you go to Masjid Al-Aqsa, they are actually violating all kind of even their own government's rules and regulations. They are going inside Masjid Al-Aqsa, sometimes praying there, sometimes even kicking the Muslims out of the masjid. Why? It is because they want to build their second temple right there that was promised by Napoleon Bonaparte 1800 years after the second temple was destroyed. Now, in Jewish calendar, why we're seeing in Gaza what happened, right? I want to explain that too, because in Gaza right now it's a very messed up situation. I believe they reached a ceasefire agreement, but we see things can get worse and it can escalate. So the name, okay, Tish Av, Tish in Hebrew, in English means Tish means ninth, Av means month. So every ninth day of the month, in the month of Elul, in Hebrew calendar is called month of Elul. This is the month, the ninth day, the Yahudi, they remember the destruction of the Second Temple. And there was an article published quoting what Napoleon Bonaparte promised to his people. And every year on the ninth day of this month, Elul, they talk about this, they think about, and they re-energize, re-motivate themselves to replace Masjid Al-Aqsa and build Mount Temple there. It is an open secret, dear brothers and sisters, that if we Muslims are not doing anything, we will be losing Al-Aqsa to the Yahudi, and the second temple will be built by them. I want you to take a look at this video. This is what is happening right now in Gaza. You see the rockets are being fired, right? This is how God's people are, so merciful, so caring. This is how merciful they are. They're, showering Gaza with these rockets. Now let's take a look at this video, because this is another one where you see this person, he's explaining the whole thing and how the promise will come true. Let's take a listen.
There's a legend told of Napoleon Bonaparte, who was traveling through a small town when he saw men and women weeping on the floor in a candlelit room. Upon asking them why they were sitting on the floor and mourning, he was told that these were Jews who were grieving for their destroyed temples in Jerusalem. How long ago did this happen? Asked Napoleon. 1800 years ago, he was told. A nation that could mourn the loss of its temple for so long, said the emperor, will surely return one day to their land and see their temple rebuilt. Tisha B'Av is the day Jews mourn the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem, as well as many other tragedies throughout Jewish history. The Talmud points out that Passover and Tisha B'Av always fall out on the same day of the week. Somehow, these two days are connected. How? Passover is about redemption and freedom, leaving Egypt to become the Jewish people. Tisha B'Av is about destruction, mourning, and exile. What's the connection? At some time in our lives, We have all experienced pain and hardship. And sometimes it is through those challenges that we strive to reach greater heights and we gain a new sense of clarity and emotional strength that we didn't have before. These challenges are like seeds in a flower pot. If the soil is healthy and if we work hard through the pain and uncertainties of growth, then they will flower into our promised redemption. Challenges.
So basically he is mentioning Tisha B'Av as an occasion of the month, 9th day of the month, where they remember about the destruction of the Mount Temple and other tragedies. And this is the time when they go after, probably this is why they are going after Gaza this time. But subhanallah, every time we open the newspaper, we see them how they are going, they're infiltrating, they're violating the rights, the sanctity of Masjid Al-Aqsa almost every month, if not weeks, if not even days. Any calendar year goes by where we do not see them entering into Masjid Al-Aqsa. Let's take a listen.
And redemption are interlinked. They are two sides of the same coin. This is the meaning of the Talmud's comparison of Passover to Tisha B'Av. The Almighty doesn't give us challenges for no reason. Each experience is designed to extract from us, individually and as a nation, our latent potential and to bring it into fruition. Mourning for the destruction of the temple is meant to inspire us to fix the pain of our past and rebuild a brighter future. In Judaism, a mourner sits Shiva for a loved one, spending a week thinking about that person, telling stories so others will know who they were. By focusing on the positive...
One thing that I really want to make mention of about the main difference between Islam and Judaism. There are many differences and there are a lot of similarities too, but one of the main things that you have noticed or you will notice between Islam and Judaism is that they prefer places of worship, they prefer lands, holy lands, more than human beings' life. Yes, in Islam we have places like Mecca, Medina, they're very beloved to us, but they are not more beloved to us than a Muslim's life. In Judaism, it is not about your life. We are going to actually sacrifice you for the sake of God. In Islam, it's the exact opposite. We are going to sacrifice everything to protect human life, because to Allah, human life, the blood of a believer, is more sacred than the Kaaba. So this is amazing that these people are so infatuated, they're so obsessed with this place of second temple building in a mountain, Mount Temple there, that it is so mind-boggling and it is so obvious that we can all notice how violent they are, how aggressive they are in order to gain their objective, which is to build a temple and worship in that place. It is so important for them that they are going to do anything, even if that means killing innocent people like in Gaza and Palestine. They will not have any problem, looks like. I'm not saying all the Jews are the same, but what I'm saying is that a lot of them, especially the Orthodox Judaism, people who want to build the second temple, and the people who believe that the second coming of the Masjid, or the coming of the Masjid I should say, is dependent on having a place to worship or dependent on building their second temple, you'll find these people always propagating, peddling this misinformation, disinformation, in order to convince themselves and also to the rest of the world that the building of the second temple is so important that nothing can move in the world without us having that second temple built first. This is the level of arrogance, this is the level of aggression that they show. Almost every month, as I said, they go inside Masjid Al-Aqsa, they take a look at the masjid and they're like, yeah, we are coming here, this is our place. Subhanallah, this is the place where Rasulullah he prayed with the Anbiya, but for them they forgot, they obviously do not believe in Prophet Muhammad SAW. But again, for them it is almost like a do or die situation, that we must have Mount Temple. So dear brothers and sisters, as believers, as Muslims, we must not forget Masjid Al-Aqsa like we forgot about a lot of things. We don't even open the Quran. we forgot the Quran, we forgot Hadith. But through these videos, my effort will be to make you remember and remind you that as believer, as Muslim, we cannot afford to lose this place. We cannot afford to give it to the Yahudi who are bent on destroying the Masjid. This is something unacceptable, and we should all stand together. Wallahi.
Qualities that loved one embodied. The mourner becomes inspired to work on inculcating those traits themselves. And by emulating those strengths, they cause that person to live on in this world.
I'll not play the video, but I hope that you got the point. New here, consider to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.